Let's talk about how you can stimulate the economy like a minimalist. Look, if everyone immediately stopped spending their money, our economy would crash, right? Well, yeah, I think this goes without saying. Consequently, one of the biggest supposed arguments many people have against minimalism is that if everyone became a minimalist, then we'd all be doomed. The financial system as it stands today would collapse, and no longer will we have the wealth necessary to purchase cheap plastic crap from Walmart. Well, I think there are several problems with this point of view. Some obvious, some a bit more abstruse. First off, no informed person would argue that we should stop spending money or that we must stop consuming. Consumption is not the problem. Consumerism is the problem. You see, consumerism is compulsory, vapid, pernicious, impulsive, unfocused, and misguided. Worst of all, it is seductive. Consumerism's shiny facade promises more than it could possibly deliver because love, happiness, contentment, and satisfaction are all internal feelings that cannot be commodified. And the truth is that once our basic needs are met, the acquisition of trinkets does very little for our lifelong well-being. So, using consumerism to stimulate the economy is sort of like fixing a cracked mirror with a hammer. It only worsens the problem. Sure, trade is an important part of any society, but circumventing consumerism doesn't imply that minimalists have to sidestep commerce altogether. Instead, minimalism is predicated on intentionality, which means we minimalists spend our money deliberately. Minimalists invest in experiences over possessions. Things like travel and concerts and vacations and meals and community theater. After all, we can all spend money without acquiring new material possessions, right? And when we must purchase new things, us minimalists, we buy new possessions carefully. And to do so, we try to ask better questions. Questions like, will this thing add value to my life? Can I afford to buy this thing without going into debt? And is this the best use of this money? Also, minimalists tend to support local businesses whenever we can, because local independent shops are often far less motivated by profit alone. Now, don't get me wrong, even local value-driven businesses need to make money to keep the lights on. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's just that maximizing profitability usually isn't the primary concern of your local bookstore or the local restaurant or the local bike shop. They are all in business because they are passionate about their product or service. And they want to share that passion with their patrons. And of course, that passion begets greater quality and much better service, which makes the money they earn even more well-deserved. Now, we hear a lot of talk today about stimulating the economy. But ultimately, minimalists aren't interested in stimulating the economy because stimulation is ephemeral. Personally, I'd rather improve our economy's long-term health by making better individual decisions about consumption, by getting involved in my local community, and by supporting local businesses who care about the people around them. If more people do this, whether you're a minimalist or not, then we'll build a stronger economy, one that's predicated on personal responsibility and community interaction. Not one that's predicated on a false sense of urgency and the mindless consumption and stockpiling of junk we never needed in the first place. Perhaps the best way to stimulate the economy then is to stop worrying about the economy and to start focusing on the community.